Hello guys, so this is the guide for VNG and let's start from the beginning. So what is the purpose of this game? The purpose for, if you're playing as a human, the purpose is to kill the vampire. In order to kill vampire you need to accumulate 10,000 gold on minute 50. By buying a spear you can kill a vampire. So let's say, if you're playing as a vampire, you need to kill the humans before the minute 50 till they accumulate 10,000 gold, and by so they won't be able to buy the spear to kill the vampires. So in this video I will pay attention uh, to teach you how to play as a human. So including like improvements, including what you should build and where you should like pay attention, and especially to teach like the newbies how to play. So I'll explain thoroughly how to play as a human. So at the beginning when you respawn as a human, the first thing you need to do, and most of the newbies make a mistake. So one of the mistakes they make, they start blinking on random places. Instead of pressing the blink, you need to press D on your keyboard, which would allow you to teleport to random place, and which would also allow you to give extra lumber. So which will give you extra lumber, around like 200 lumbers. So this you should always use a teleport. And because when you press the blink, some people might press the D, and by teleporting they can randomly be on the place where you blink. So that's why it's recommended to press D or click on the teleport as a human. And if you press D on teleport, it will teleport all the humans on random places. So which means there is no possibility that two humans will be teleported on the same base. So at the beginning, the main purpose is to build 4 houses and 8 tents, like food tents, in order to able to recall the workers, so which workers will accumulate you lumber. You should always build 4 houses and 8 tents minimum, and which would allow you to get maximum workers, which is 250. So everyone has a different technique for building houses and for building tents. For instance, I use this technique in order to get the earliest possible slayer, which would allow me to get the coins from vampires. You can do as I do, or you can use your own technique if you have one. So as soon as you build the slayer house, you need to start building your obelisk. And also after building obelisk, you need to put straight away 3 research centers. So which each of them would allow you. The first one you could use for improving your workers' back, so they would actually be getting more wood, more lumber. The second one you could improve your workers' HP, so vampires couldn't use the chain on them. And the third one is you could actually go for on minute 1 you can press T and it would allow you to give you profession you can go for. But if you choose the random profession, you would get extra 4,000 lumber. I would recommend to use this one, the random one. And in the research center you should always upgrade for your Slayer's HP and attack damage, which would allow you to survive more, because the vampires have such items like shocker, staff, and which would prevent you from dying from these items. And also I would recommend you to start upgrading your wall HP by pressing the C on research center. It would increase the wall HP. So every time you build the obelisk, you need to get the free wood from obelisk. You press QQ on the obelisk and you destroy the obelisk and you start building a new one, which would allow you to give every obelisk provides you extra 500, 1000 lumber. You can start exchanging the wood on the gold on wood after getting full ferbs. Once you have full ferbs, you can start exchanging all the gold you have on wood in order to build more gold mines. You should always build research centers, and then you should always hide your base from the blink of the assassin. So they in early stage they can buy assassin if you have 2 gold, and they can send you to your base in order to kill your ferbs. By this, it would allow them to get more gold from you. So I would recommend you to build your base like this, like I'm showing in the video. So make sure you do the same. So in order to be able to close from the assassin's blink. Like I'm showing in the video, you should always remember how to defend against Doom as well. So if you look at my video right now, you will see how I'm building against the Doom. So they would not be able to press Doom on my base. So let's say if in the early stage you didn't have enough, you didn't have a chance to get 2 golds or 1 gold to build a fast base. So you can also go for spoiled sapphire. You can build spoiled sapphire, which would allow you to get the base you want, and it would prevent the vampires uh, to find you on minute 9 or minute 10 and prevent you from dying in minute 10 for building your base. So I would recommend if you're a new player to start building your base, and if you didn't get enough, if you didn't get gold, I would recommend it to get the spoiled sapphire by picking your base. And also don't forget to close down from the assassin. But once you build the spoiled sapphire, you should always remember that you should upgrade your wall HP till the max. Otherwise, the vampires would be able to destroy your spoiled sapphire. And building a fast base, it would allow you to prevent the vampires to place a tomb. The tomb for vampires is the thing which would allow them to TP them on this tomb. So you should be able to build your base as soon as possible with the spoiled sapphire, and it would allow you to build extra houses around your place to give you extra vision, which would prevent the vampires to build a tomb on your base, near to your base. And in VNG, don't forget that vampires can also cut the trees, and then instead of that trees, they can place a tomb. So you should always check around your base for a tomb. And also the one of the main features of this layer is to check what vampires they're buying on their base. So you should always keep track of what they're buying. So to be in order to be able to defend against those items. So how to get gold? So it's pretty much similar as in VF, but in VNG we have a limited amount of gold you can pick. This is only 6, but sometimes it can go for like a 7 if you had a chance to pick up like big coin. So in VNG we have only limited amount of gold, which is 6. So you cannot pick up more than 6 gold. I mean, overall, each human can only pick 2 golds. You can always pick only 2 golds. You're not allowed to pick more than 2. This is the rules we have. But if you didn't have enough chance to pick up from the vampires, so when vampires like destroy your buildings and stuff, so before the minute 10 you will have a chance to get these 2 coins or 1 coin, whatever, how lucky you were. Depends on how lucky you were. So if you didn't get a chance to get the coins on minute 10, it will automatically, the system will give you 2 golds or even more, depending on the feed they have got for vampires. So as you can see in the video, we have lots of different like different upgrade on tree. We have different upgrade like trading. Like for trading, there is a chance you can gold. You can get gold before minute 10, and you will be getting golds after minute 10, depending on the minute. And when you start playing, you can start you can look at like each profession more thoroughly. But I would recommend it to go always for a random one, which would in the early stage of the game it would allow you to give extra 4k and one plus one to build the obelisk. So it means at the beginning you're not gonna get the obelisk for 500 lumber. You'd get extra lumber with 500, and it will provide you 1k lumber if you go for a random profession. So as you can see in the research center, we have lots of different upgrades. So this is for human workers upgrade. It would increase your human's HP. I would always recommend you to upgrade twice. It would give your workers 400 HP. So it would be hard because vampires in early stage they can give 2 chains and kill your workers, which would allow them to get the extra feed. So we also have Slayer upgrade. You should always upgrade your Slayer's HP and damage for 1 or at least for like 2 if you're a new player. And as you can see, there's a wall upgrade. You should always upgrade your wall's HP to the max. Otherwise, vampires would be able to kill you easily on early stages of the game. So we also have a physical training research would allow you to upgrade your main human workers HP and damage. I would always recommend you to upgrade the physical training. Uh, the max you can get is 1000 HP and 500 damage, which would prevent you from dying from full levels of vampires. Otherwise, they can chain you if you don't upgrade them full and you start repairing your wall. Let's say you have 900, and they can easily, if the vampires are full levels, they can easily chain you both and then you can die. So every time when you build a base, when you start building the obelisk in some random places, you would automatically get your flag. So, you know, if you don't want to build in this base, but you're just building your obelisk, so it means you need to make sure that you kill your flag by pressing on the flag and then pressing R and then by clicking on the flag again. So it would allow your flag to be destroyed as soon as possible, depending on the timings. Yep. And so once you place your flag, it means no one will be able to build anything in your base. And now let's talk about the fountain. So the fountain is the extra healing for your main wolf, which is the target for vampires. So you can direct your fountain by pressing Q and pressing on the wall. So it would allow your fountain to get extra healing from the fountain. So in the fountain research, we can, as you can see, there is a, you can press set, you can press this thing, and it would give extra healing. It's a research, it gives extra healing by every time it gets researched. So it would allow you to give even more healing time by time. So this is like a free upgrade, and there's also like a the upgrade for extra wood. So in the upgrade research center, as you can see, you also have healing towers, which would allow you to should prevent you from you to die from the chains. So you can upgrade this healing research, and it would give extra healing HP for your healing towers. So one of the main reasons, one of the main keys how to upgrade your base, like your citadel, your era, call it in VNG, we call it era, your main tower, is by improving your technology tower, like weapon tower we call it. So every single era has to be So in each stage, you need to upgrade the technology research by 2 in order to be able to jump to the next level of era or citadel, whatever it's easier for you to call. And also in the upgraded research center, you can also you can call for elf. We call it elf. So with this elf, you can build different houses. You can build upgraded gold mines. It's not recommended to upgrade the white gold mines you build in the early stages. For the next era, you should always, and if you're playing it from the beginning, and you have just era 1, you should always remember that you need to build only 9 to 10 gold mines, no more. If you build 9, in which cases you need to build 10. If you have enough lumber to be able to build like 10 gold mines before the minute 60, you should build 10. But if you having a bad eco or something else, you've been attacked by the vampires, and in this case, you need to build nine white gold mines, the first level gold mines. But as you can see in the stage 2, you should make sure that you build 6 green gold mines. You can call your elf for 4 gold and 3,000 lumber. You can call him and then build 6 green gold mines, no more. Just make sure you build, especially with your elf. You don't need to upgrade your white gold mines. Leave them as it is. Yeah. In this elf, you can also build the mana energy tower, which would mana burn for the vampires if they don't have like upgraded shield. And you can also build Ruben, which is almost the last one of the last walls. It's a really strong wall, but I will tell you in more details when to build this Ruben. You also have this shop for Slayer, which in this you can purchase 2 items and then from another 2 items from another store, so which would give you immunity to any skills of the vampires. Your Slayer would have immunity. However, the immunity can be achieved through research center. By in upgraded research center, you press D, and then you'll be able to get immunity for your Slayer. Also, we have this gold box, which would allow you to put on the blood, Dracula's blood, which would prevent you from dying through the doom. You can also build the 4th with your elf, but you can also build the mana burn energy tower, your verb, if the tower technology has been upgraded to 2. So every time you build your base, you should always call your Slayer and then press T and recall for. You should always check your base for shadow. Because sometimes some vampires play with the shadows, they send the shadow to some random bases, and if you get to choose to build in this base, you need to always check your base for shadows with the spy. And make sure you kill this shadow. Otherwise the vampires would just TP on this shadow, teleport on this shadow, and then they would just kill your human. It means it's end of the game for you. If you look at the video, I'll teach you now how to defend against the 2 graves and 1 dog. So, you need to make sure you need to send your verbs to the tower, to your wall tower, and then start repairing your wall tower. And make sure you build 4 upgraded towers for damage in order to kill the grave. Yeah. Make sure if someone calls for engineers and gives you the engineers, this dog can basically jump through and then kill your engineers. So it's recommended to, in early stages of the game, if they come with the dog, you need to always make sure to have verbs near the wall tower in order to be able to repair And make sure you have like this 4 upgraded towers, damage towers, in order to kill this dog. So I'll also teach you how to defend against the catapult. This you see the this is the catapult. This is the main reason why they use the catapult in VNG is in order to TP on this catapult. So one of the best ways to defend against this catapult is you click on the vampire, the one who's trying to TP on this catapult, and press E, and giving the trap to the vampire, so it would prevent the vampires from jumping to your base. However, if the vampire is not close by to your wall, make sure you need to have enough damage to kill this catapult. You need to have like at least 2 crystal towers, upgraded damage towers. So for 3,200 lumber each. And after that, you can another way is to prevent the catapult going to your base is by simply like blocking with your human his way, so he will not be able to jump to your base, to teleport to your base. Yeah. And the next one, I'll teach you how to def against the dragon. So this is the dragon. Each his attack will froze your repairing your wall. So it means you would not be able to repair your wall with your human, with verbs, or with anything, with engineers or anything else. So in order to be able to defend against the dragon, you should always have um, clo close to your wall, upgraded 3 crystal towers. 3 always, if you're playing against 2 vampires. But if you're playing against one solo vampire, you need to have 2 upgraded crystal towers. So how do you get the crystal towers? As you can see, this normal damage towers, you click on them and then upgrade them for 800 lumber. You get this fire towers, and after fire towers, you press Z and you get crystal towers. And make sure you build this crystal towers in order to kill the dragon. Make sure to remember this. For if you're playing against 2 vampires, you should always have 3 crystal towers, but if you're playing against 1 vampire, you should always get 2. Because why? Because each vampire can heal their dragon and keep them alive. So yeah. And don't forget to click on your crystal towers and make sure they always attack the dragon. And one of the main keys is you should always remember that you should always build some damage against the dragon, because they can recoil dragon on 10 immediately, and it will take them around 100 seconds for respawn of the dragon. So if you, let's say if you're located near to the vampire base, it means you should always have attack upgraded damage in advance. Otherwise, you will not be able to defend against the dragon, and they will kill you quite easily. And also, let's talk about the Doom one more time and make sure you always have a defense against the Doom. But let's say if they both Doom, you should always rebuild your era, the first era, because your first era can be easily destroyed through the golem or through the staff of destruction. Yes. As you can see, I have calculated his damage through for the Doom, and upgraded my the walls behind walls in advance, so they cannot jump to my base with the Doom. And let's say if you have a good reaction, sometimes let's say you don't have enough extra wood, lumber to upgrade your second walls against the Doom, you should have a good reaction to rebuild another wall, so it would prevent you from dying through the Doom. So if you have better reaction than the vampire, so you can build faster a wall, then he jumps to your base, so it means you have a good reaction, and it can prevent you from dying from the Doom. As you can see, this is one of the ways how to build a blood box. And always, and let's say if you don't have the era for by the time they get the Doom, you should always make sure you can always jump with your Slayer and prevent them to prevent them from jumping to your blood box, and you can always stand there with your Slayer. But let's say if they bought the item which would kill your Slayer, which is the pull stuff, upgraded pull stuff. You should always upgrade your Slayer for twice for the second upgrade. It would allow you to stay survive, so you can build extra healing towers and heal your Slayer, and it would prevent you from dying from the Doom. So another item is the ring. We call it ring for the best way to defend against the ring is you should always 8 healing towers. 8 healing tower, minimum 8 healing towers. 8 healing towers would be able to heal your engineers who are standing next to the wall. And make sure you never jump with your own human. Otherwise, with the ring, there's a high chance of you dying from the ring. If they can time the chain, both of them together at the same time, it would kill you instantly, your human. And which means the game is over for you. So make sure you always ask for engineers or call the engineer to put your own um, Slayer, but this always when every time when you call for engineers, you should always call for a spy because they can bring assassin and kill all your engineers. Make sure you have a vision in your base. And if they don't if they bought the ring but they don't have actually the shield, which means you can build energy towers and then burn all the mana they have. So it means you can jump with your humor in this case and then start repairing your wall. So let's see if your main wall tower is getting destroyed by the vampires. You make sure at minute 20 you can get spell for your Slayer, which would get you ult, which we call it ult for your Slayer, and it would prevent your base from dying it, basically, as you can see in the video. So and make sure you place your Slayer in the spot where they cannot give silence to your Slayer. Otherwise, if they give you silence to your Slayer, it means you will not be able to cast your ult. So in the game, we also have different upgrades for vampires, and one of the best ways how to know what they upgrade or to know are they upgrading anything, the vampires. So you should always look at their tomb, like their obelisk, like the ones they built in their base. So if there is a flame in their tower, so it means they're upgrading something. But every by minute, everyone will tell you in a voice chat or in a text chat like what they're trying to upgrade at the moment. So in this case, if they're upgrading advanced damage, you should always build Lapis. The wall name is Lapis and the first armor. But let's say they normally buy at minute 26, they have upgraded damage, and they buy Wolf. We call it Wolf. And in this case, you need to have upgraded first level of Aquamarine Wall, or you can have second armor with the Lapis Wall. And you should always place your spy in a not in a range where they cannot chain your spy. So which would also, as you can see in the video, it would allow you extra vision and you can kill the assassin this way. In the research center, you will be able to find the purple bottle, which would give immunity to your fountain. So it means the vampires cannot destroy your fountain with the stuff or with anything else. And make sure you always upgrade your armor tower because it would allow you extra surviving rate to your base. And most of the bases you can place only 4 engineers, and in this game we help each other, give to each other engineers always. But some bases have you can place only 4 engineers, but in some of the bases, as you can see, you can place 6 engineers. The main purpose of these engineers is to repair the wall tower. So you can always build Rubin as well. If they have like hell of a damage, you can also go for a Rubin. You can start building the Rubin instead of going for Aquamarine. After the Lapis first armor, if you haven't been attacked that much, and if you haven't been attacked at all, you can always go start building a rebuild behind the main wall. And make sure you should always place your wall not exactly on the side, but like 0.5 um a bit slower, a bit lower or a bit higher than your normal wall should be replaced. Not you should never build your wall on the side. And upgrading from aquamarine to the Rubin, it's always a risk because it will reduce the healing rate and everything. So and it also costs a lot. So it's always recommended to go for from Lapis to Rubin. Let's talk about the damage towers. So we have the cannon tower. This is the normal you can upgrade for 800 lumber, and for 3,200 you can also build the crystal tower, and crystal tower can be improved to the improved crystal tower for 14k lumber. From the cannon tower you can also build the vision tower, or from the cannon tower you can also build the blood tower. Blood tower would always, every time it attacks, it reduces the armor of the vampire. From the cannon tower you can also build the ice tower. It will it will also remove the speed of the vampires. Yeah, you should always upgrade your vision tower, because your vision tower, the normal vision tower, can be destroyed through the Staff of Destruction. Because it has only 1k HP. Yeah. We also have Meteor. Meteor needs Tower Technology 3, but we don't really use them in the VNG because it costs a lot. It costs 80,000 lumber, and it could affect your basically economy. So one of the main reasons why when you should build a meteor is basically when you have when there are like few players left in the game, so you need to play against with the damage, so the vampires would not come close to your base. So in this case, you should build the meteors. And after that, we also have Tesla towers. Tesla towers, we build them after building Ultimate Tower. So Ultimate Tower it's always built on the last era. It's called Base Center. So once you have your base center, you can place your Ultimate Tower. But it also depends on the situations. You should always look if they have a lot of upgraded damage and a lot of armor. You shouldn't build Ultimate Tower, because you should go for a gold and you start building gold towers, gold mines, instead of building Ultimate Tower, because Ultimate Tower costs 800k lumber. Yes, and if they don't have if they don't have like a lot of armor, you should always go for Ultimate Tower and Tesla. It would prevent the vampires to be able to destroy your tower. It would actually, this is one of the ways to kill the vampires. Yeah. So I'll also teach you how to get the levels for your slayers. So every minute you will get a level for your slayer if you jump this place. Like there is a base, like there's like a small like a river place, but the columns surround it. So this is the place where you can get levels for your slayer. Yeah. So in the left corner up, there is a Slayer shop. In the Slayer shop, you can buy, the small ring and then the axe. It would regenerate your mana quickly for your Slayer, so you can jump and get extra. You can get kick the gold. Yeah. So let's talk about the engineers. How do you get the engineers? The first engineer you'll get in your Slayer at minute 8 and at level 8. So at level 8 you can spawn one engineer. At level 13 you can call for 2 engineers. Level 18 will give you 3 engineers, and then level 23 will give you 4 engineers. This is the max. You can only get 4 engineers at max. Or you can call elves from the research center and try to, by dispelling them, you can try to defend your wall. And the spy you get at level 5. And one of the main rules we have in VNG is that the vampires will not kill your human or obelisk before the minute 10. So you can always build anywhere, and you can stand like by building your obelisk. It means the vampires will not even touch you or your obelisk. So you should pay attention to this as well. I'll also talk about the like a micro controls, like a micro stuff in the VNG. Every time when vampires attack your workers, the ones who are getting work for you, so you should always make sure to dispel your humans. But you cannot destroy your own towers because it goes against our community rule. So, but make sure you dispel each worker they attack, and make sure you build new house and new food tent, so to create another new ones. And every time when you dispel your workers, always press E, so they put the lumber they were like accumulating back to the house, and then after this you need to dispel them straight away. And also when you have your first era for first your center, it would also boost your accumulating wood from your obelisk. It would also provide the extra 250 wood. So as you can see in the video, this will also show you one of the early ways how to build the base. And let's put you in the scenario when you have picked 2 gold. It means you should always put your third base like area tower, your center, and once you have your center, you should always upgrade one of your houses to Samville. It's called Samville, and then this Samville would allow you to build gold mine before the minute 10. And if you don't have enough, if you didn't pick up any golds, or if you had 1 gold, without the sample, you would not be able to build gold mine before the minute 10. So if you have 2 golds, it means you're lucky. It means you can build 1 gold mine before the minute 10. It would accumulate you 1 gold every 30 seconds. So 1 gold for 30 seconds. You can for each gold you can you can dispel your human workers and then call instead verbs. And make sure to always help each other because the VNG is about the team play. So once you have built 9 royal gold mines, you should always start upgrading your technology tower, technology upgrade, because it would allow you to go for a next era, for the next center. Oh, each era, remember, has only 2 tower technology upgrades, no more. If you're gonna go for a second era, for a second center, you should always upgrade technology 1 and 2. For a third era, you need technology 3 and 4. For a fourth era, you need to 5 and 6, and so on, basically. And every time before you want to build like this small like trash houses for like trash stuff to prevent for the vampires to come to you so easily, but also make sure you check your base with the spy and around your base, because in some cases vampires can be standing next to your wall in invisibility mode, so once you go out with your human, they can instantly kill you. So this is called snake or rat gaming from the vampires. It's quite lame. So if the dragon is flying somewhere, you can always jump with your slayer, help your teammates to kill the dragon. For killing the dragon, you will get 5 gold. And let's talk about the gold mines. For the first era, you need to build 9 to 10 white gold mines. For second era, you need to build 6 green gold mines. For the third era, you need to build 14 to 15 red gold mines. And for the last era, as much as you need. And you should always upgrade your uh, the max until you accumulate 10,000 gold until the minute 50. So the vampires have such an item called RS, and RS it would allow the vampires to give accumulates extra 1,000 attack damage. So in order to be able to restart this RS item, you need to press hold on your human once you have really low damage on your wolf. So if you're playing against two vampires, you could always place a diamond with armored 4, and you should be ready to to be able to defend against the vampire attack with the RS at minute 40. So you can build ultimate tower, Tesla towers, and upgrade your walls to the max. You should always have You should always have 2 diamond walls to be able to defend against the vampire. And make sure you should always upgrade thing, every single upgrade in your research center before you reach minute 40. And in the VNG we have a thing, so this Ares would kill any wall. It doesn't matter how good you are, it will kill after a specific period of time, it will kill this wall. So in this case, you can go like jump around and you need to stay alive until minute 40 if you have 10,000 gold. If you don't have not 10,000 gold, you can if it's like minute 48, 47 and you quite close to the getting 10,000 gold, you can rebuild your base in some random places uh, which is not close to the vampire, and then you can start building your new base until you get 10,000 gold, accumulate 10,000 gold. Yes. So one of the main reasons is you need to build diamond wall before the minute 40, before they attack you with the arrows. And to have 4 armor. And it doesn't matter which minute you're playing, you should always remember that you should always have enough really good defense against Doom, because sometimes the vampires can use the Doom after like minute 30, 35 and still come to your base with the Doom and then kill you through the Doom. In our next videos, we'll explain you more thoroughly about every item, about more human plays. So, yeah, thank you for watching the video.